Hi. Good evening everyone and welcome to another episode of Midori's Midnight Session Season 4. Alam kong iba yung headphones ko ngayon and hindi na ako nakaano Hindi na ako nag-rely sa mic ng cam. Anyway, but I was gonna record this last Monday. May nangyari lang. So, anyway, we're back at it again. And alam nyo, over the past few months, it's been a really hard challenge for me to really conquer my demons ba. In a way kasi, parang kahit sabihin natin na, na tawag dito, may mga kasama ka naman. Like, technically, there are still people that kind of support you. Pero parang hindi pa nga tamang term yung word na support you eh. Parang a more appropriate term would be I don't know what a more appropriate term for that would be. Pero kasi pag naiisip ko, parang they're there. Like they technically support you pero parang sa laban na yun, ikaw pa rin yung sundalo, ikaw pa rin yung warrior talaga. And you're kind of forced to like think of the problems, think of just like everything na kailangan mong gawin. You have to reach out, you have to be vocal about your stuff, you have to be attentive din. What do they feel? Pero parang, like, I wanna stray din kasi from being a people pleaser. That's why I don't really want to, parang, let's say, like, I don't really want to impose my experiences, my circumstances on other people. And, kung iisipin nyo din, ano ba, this is really, a battle of oneself eh. Hindi siya battle with anybody else. Like, they're, nandun lang sila as a form of moral compass, I would say. But pretty much support, and I bought this book. This is called The Wounded Heart, Hope for Adult Victims of Child Sexual Abuse. So yes, I will put a trigger warning na dapat pala nilagay ko na on the very first few minutes of this video. This is your warning, people. I will talk about very sensitive stuff that I have encountered writing here. And I just had to buy this from somebody on Facebook kasi I don't know, it just spoke to me and I just felt like I had to buy it, I just had to. And isa sa mga pinaka-poignant na napansin ko when I first acquired this book was there was actually a written it was actually written like the first few pages of this book was actually written in by somebody else, not me. Pero like the thing about this person is they never finished past the first chapter. And I just read through everything bago ko burahin. Kasi yes, binura ko siya. Hanapin ko siya. Kasi parang, nung nabasa ko tong part na to, like just this particular part, it really struck something it really struck something in me that I couldn't describe. Like, it was just poignant, I would say, na hindi ko ma-explain. Basta parang I felt her, I felt this person's pain. I felt this person's heartache. And yung distress niya while writing this book. This was this was a female, I think. Kasi parang yung ano niya, yung sulat niya ay pambabae talaga. Kasi dikit-dikit siya na very small and like really cursive. So, I am going to read what they wrote in here. This was for the question on page, yeah, on page 20 of this workbook. Babasahin ko. The topic for this first journal exercise is, how are you feeling about this guide? What are you encouraged about? Discouraged? What scares you? What are you hoping for? What are you afraid to hope for? What are you still uncertain about? What do you feel like doing after going through this chapter? What do you intend to do? You don't have to answer all of these questions. They are intended to spark your thinking. Yun yung tanong. Yun yung instruction. And some of these words, nabura ko na agad. Hindi ko siya nasulat agad. Pero ito yung ano niya. Pero ito yung overall verbatim na sinulat niya dito sa libro. Sabi niya, I'm feeling scared and frightened. What horrible memories would I discover? What if I really was created for destruction? What if God doesn't love me? What if I have endured through longer blackouts? Will there be anyone to pick me up? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses, all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. I wonder if I will be able to do this. Stick with it. Guess I should turn off the TV. That would be easier to write. But then I might lose control and become really involved in this and hurt myself. I don't know if I will be able to do this. Courage and safety are rare commodities. I have been writing for 10 minutes. Seems like forever. So, what am I going to do when I finish reading this chapter? Because I've read the first chapter of this book and see what happens. What if I have made this up? What if I have made this all up in my imagination? How spiritual is this? Where will this go? Will I be devoured? Who will protect me? I am alone. This writing is hard. I'm spiraling down and going into a deep well. We'll stop for now. The last two words were 15 minutes. So, yes, this person was just 15 minutes into reading and writing on here, on this book. So, just imagine, like, gaano siya kabigat to, like, directly confront that kind of memory na pinipilit nilang itago. They try to, like, bury it down. And I kind of empathize with this person. I felt the pain na meron siya. Hindi ko ma-explain kasi parang I kind of get them eh. I kind of understand what they're going through. I mean, it is not something unique eh. It is a very collective experience, kumbaga. Na ganun talaga. Like, I remember the pastor in my church. Wow, my church. The pastor in the church that I have been going to these past few months is uh was preaching about trials and paano dapat tayo hindi maging steadfast throughout these tribulations. And I will be honest with you, I could not resonate with the thought of it. Kasi, like, everybody there is just like, yeah, I agree. Like, yes, we should not be shaken in these trials. Yeah, like, 'di ba kung iisipin mo, parang magigets mo yung ano eh, yung predicament kung hindi siya nararanasan ng tao, kung hindi siya nararamdaman ng tao. You know, like when you think about it, hindi siya hindi siya madaling maintindihan ng ibang tao. Kasi parang if hindi mo naman naranasan, what was even the point of enduring such pain? Like, yun nga ang sabi ko, dapat, mm, hindi dapat maano eh, I mean, hindi dapat pagdaanan yun ng tao. Hindi siya dapat romanticize. That's the word. Kasi, I just felt throughout the entire thing that it was just utter bullshit, you know? And hindi ko naman siya parang hindi ko naman siya nararamdaman per se. Hindi ko siya nakikita ba? Na parang kahit sabihin natin na hindi dapat na pang this is fun to go through, we should be partaking in this trial, we should be joyful in it. But when someone's faith is just so broken to the point na parang, seryoso ka, like, okay ka lang, sana, you know, like, sana hindi mo naranasan yung naranasan ko, 'di ba? Parang, ang hirap mag-align doon sa sentiment na yun. And especially when you go through an experience as debilitating, as humiliating, as agonizing, as heart-rending, and as fucked up as what I went through, hindi mo makita yung you can't really put your rose-colored glasses back on. You just see the world for what it is, and it's just the way of the world for me, I guess. Like, hindi ko na ma-romanticize. Like, parang ang iniisip ko is, it's fucked up, and let it stay that way. You know? Let it stay that way. Let it be fucked up. Let the person think it is fucked up because it is fucked up, and no God should feel like it's okay for somebody to go through any kind of abuse. It's not just sexual, but especially sexual, you know, hindi yun, hindi ko maramdaman sa puso ko na hindi siya tumatama sa akin. Like, sinasagutan ko to nung Sunday. And I just know, like, parang, oh my God, hindi pwede to sa akin. Hindi ko na nga lang sinabi kay pastor kasi ayoko. Hindi naman sa ayoko maka-offend. But the thing is, what might be true for me might not be true for him. 'Di ba? Hindi naman kami pareho ng experience. Like, siguro, he sees it that way and I don't. And, iba rin kami ng experiences in life, you know? I didn't go for what he went through. And kung tutuusin, parang majority yata ng mga nagte-testify sa simbahang to ay, kumbaga, hindi pa ganun, you know, like, it's not as fucked up as the one I've gone through, you know. Kumbaga, mild pa yun. It's just child's play, kumbaga. And that's not to say I've kind of invalidating everyone else's problem. It's just that it's definitely worse. It's fucked up and it's not something that should be romanticized. It's not something that should be made fun of. It's not something that should be said God's will. Like, it's not God's will. Like, parang, kung iisipin nyo, is it God's will to be brutalized like that? Is it God's will na parang, let me read to you. This is actually my answer on one of the questions. And, eto. This is on page 38 of the workbook. And sabi dito, the past and the present, ourselves and others, are hard to deal with. But perhaps our most stubborn denial has to do with God, primarily regarding our future. What does it mean to deal with a God who has failed to protect us in the past or the present, and who promises no insurance against more suffering in this life? About our memories, we wonder, where was he? About about our current relationships, we ask, where is he now? What's he doing now to help? How then can we trust him for our future? Make a list of every reason you can think of for you to mistrust God. Include bad ones as well as good ones. Don't tell yourself that it's ungodly to mistrust God or that there can't be any reason to mistrust Him. Remember, He already knows what's in your heart. Write down everything the devil or your damaged soul could whisper to you in a vulnerable moment. And I wrote here, this will be hard. Like, even reading this is hard. So me being sexually abused was God's will? Bullshit. Does he really want me to suffer for as long as I live? What does he even do to heal the pain inside my heart? Having post-traumatic stress was his will, eh? Then why does he just let that shit happen to me? What happened to me shouldn't have happened in the first place, man. I was a fucking kid. I don't know any better. If this was his will, he should have just penetrated my fucking vagina. And when you hear that, like, does it that sound like, parang does that sound like the person asked for this? Na hindi naman to board exam. Hindi naman to academic stuff. Like this is a life debilitating disorder. Because I have it, you know? And I'm not gonna hide it. I have it. Like, just imagine, like, nararamdaman mo pa rin sa katawan mo yung trauma mo, nanginginig pa rin yung kamay mo, hindi ka pa rin makatingin sa tao habang kinukwento mo yung kwento mo, that you're like trying to look at something that will probably ground you down, like make you feel like this you're doing good. Pero minsan it's just too much. Like this is too much. This is Ito nga sabi nila dito sa post na to. Sometimes God shakes what can be shaken, so that what's unshakable may remain. The question is, when everything else falls apart, will your faith still stand? And unfortunately, it hasn't. I mean, parang kumbaga, nasa point pa rin ako ng questioning what the hell. What the hell, man? Like, what the hell did you do to this bitch? Like, I know I'm not the best person in the fucking room, but come on. Like, nobody should go through what I went through. Ever. Like, no guy, no girl, no gay, no lesbian, no transgender, no asexual, no bi, no LGBTQIA plus. No one should ever go through what I went through. And that's not something that should be romanticized. That's not something na maganda ang may tutulot sa tao in the long run. It's not. It's not. Like, what I want to emphasize is there are certain things na dapat hindi ginaganon. Hindi dapat siya resilience porn, 'di ba? Like, guys, hindi ito resilience porn. This is not resilience. This is breaking, you know? This is breaking. Like, this thing breaks you to the fucking core, and no one knows. Kasi, when you tell your story, who would believe you, diba? That's the very core of, like, people who have gone through the same thing as I did. Question most often, like, sila ba papaniwalaan ba nila ako? Depende na lang kung ano bang paniniwalaan nila, 'di ba? Minsan nga parang mahirap pa nga sa ibang tao na tulungan yung tao na ganun yung pinagdaanan kasi hindi nila alam kung paano tumulong, guys. Like, so ang ending, ikaw pa rin tutulong sa sarili mo, 'di ba? Like, you can have all the support system you have in the world, pero kung hindi sila emotionally capable to like help you stand, baka sakaling mahulog ka, madapa ka, walang tutulong sa'yo patayo, ikaw pa rin eh. Lalo na pag ganito, like, sinong tutulong sa'yo? Wala. And that's unfortunately, like, the reality for most of these people, for most of us, na hindi laging may tutulong eh. Or kung may tutulong man, hindi sila emotionally capable to hold that pain. Masakit. Oo, sobra. Masakit yun. Naintindihan ko yun. And as somebody who goes through that same thing, hindi siya romanticizable, if that's even a word. Hindi siya karapat-dapat tingnan on a positive lens. It's unfortunate because it really forces you to look in a different way. It forces you to look realistically na as much as people are there to support you, you still have to do the work. You still have to do everything. Na kahit sabihin nating all the best people in the world, all the best psychologists in the world, all the best friends in the world, all the best families in the world could help you, they can't. They have limits. And I unfortunately realized that on a near constant basis, like no one's gonna help me. Diba? Parang no one's gonna help me. They aren't emotionally capable to hold such pain. That goes to the psychologist. They are not emotionally capable to sustain what you're gonna pay the therapist to do. Diba? So parang ano ka rin, like, one man show ka pa rin. Kaya nga, binili ko to kasi wala akong pera pang therapy guys. Wala. Hanap ako ng hanap ng trabaho, wala akong mahanap na maayos na trabaho. Ang sakit, di ba? Like, wala rin. Kung wala ka ring pera to like avail of an actual psychologist, what's even the point, di ba? Like, as much as I want to really avail one, I have to make do with this workbook. I have to make do with, friend referrals, and I just have to do with confiding to somebody. Yun lang yung kaya ko eh. I have to make do with a church. You know? Kahit na some of them may not have the best minds, the best equipment to do to process such a heavy story, 'di ba? Yun yung ano eh. And I get why they didn't finish this book. I really do. I get why they didn't finish this book. Kasi finishing this book means that you're able to face this demon head on. You're able to really see it for what it is. You're able to have support that you get. You're able to have access to everything, you know? Treatment, therapy, a good support system. I don't have that. As much as I don't want to admit it, I don't have that. And I think many people are not as privileged as I am to even have a workbook that would help them kind of understand things. Wala eh. Wala eh. Pag nirape ka, sila maniniwala sa'yo. Polis ka, di naniniwala sa'yo eh. Paano kung polis? Lalo silang di maniniwala sa'yo. Yun ang masakit. So, I put here in this on the same question kanina na hindi niya natapos dun sa journal exercise that I've mentioned kanina about how they're feeling about the guide. Ito ang sabi ko. And I will conclude this episode by reading this passage. I'm feeling quite hopeful about all this. This is my first time tackling these emotions in a rather concrete manner. This is a journey of understanding and, in a way, sharing a vision with this book's original owner. Though they may have only done this chapter of the book, their writings and emotions, while conquering this while conquering their darkest demons, will be embedded here forever and treasured on this journey. I want to thank them for their courage and grit to even finish one chapter, as I'm sure this workbook opened a lot of old wounds that required more than just temporary tending. I am grateful to have been a witness and a torchbearer of this journey that we now both share. I will gladly pray for their healing in heart, body, and soul, and those scared, courage to one day finally tell their story the way that they want to. As for me, there are a lot of questions I still wanted answered, and I'm hoping that I find the courage to continue on way beyond the first chapter and see this through to the end. Ang bigat ng episode na to kasi for the first time binasa ko verbally yung mga sinulat ko dito. And it's hard to really like read all of the stuff that I wrote in here. Kahit nga tahimik ko lang basahin, masakit na. And I hope that everyone that listens to this pod would be able to finally find even a little bit of glimmer. Even a little glimmer of hope na one day they would heal from this ache, from this pain, from this heartbreak. And I hope na sana may makita din silang like people would come to understand, to support them, to empathize with their pain, with their hardship, going through this whole thing. And I know healing is hard, but healing is possible. I believe in that. Like, it's not as easy as, you know, it's not as easy as you would think it is. Like, hindi siya physical pain. In a way, it is. Pero hindi siya like usual na physical pain na talagang kailangan mong magpagamot sa doktor na, kunwari, pag nasugatan ka, kailangan mong lagyan ng band-aid. Hindi siya ganun. This is a wound in the heart. This is a wound in the mind. This is a wound in the soul. And sometimes it needs more treatment than just a temporary bandage. And I know for the people who listen to this, sana naiintindihan nyo yung pain na meron sa ganitong sitwasyon na hindi siya something that could be made fun of, that could be rose-tinted. It is a painful, heart-rending journey that no one should ever go through. No one should experience something like that ever. Ever, ever, ever. Sana naintindihan nyo. And this is where this episode ends. And sana na-appreciate nyo man lang yung mga salitang pinagsasasabi ko dito. Kasi 4 seasons would have been possible without you. And I wouldn't have been able to share this journey with you. And maraming salamat. And I see you guys on the next one. Bye!